So when you open up PowerPoint, my advice to you is do not use AI. Go straight to blank presentation. Click on double click, open it up, and make sure the slide, the size of the slide, so you go to design, and then you go to slide size. Make sure it's 16:9. 4:3 is TV sets before 2010. Today, when you go to conference and events, most likely people are using 85-inch or 100-inch TV screens, LED smart screens with 4K. The advantage of that is that since the LED, light emitting device, that's why we call these TVs, smart TVs, LEDs, because they are producing the light as opposed to light coming from a projector. And smart because they have computer power in them and access many apps. So you choose widescreen 16:9. Okay. If you choose 4:3, you might end up with serious problems on presentation. It will look really funny on a widescreen TV. But on a standard TV, widescreen 16:9 looks really nice as well. It will be black, but go with that one. Okay. Next, never choose when we're talking about insert. So when we click here and we go to new slide, you can see there are many, many different types of slides. Okay. Always choose blank. The number of times I receive PowerPoint presentations and people just load up and they don't understand what they're doing, and then I start to find these not being used, it's messy. It causes problems. It can lead to trouble. Just, you don't need these things. So two things you can do. Either select all and delete, or just delete that slide and start with a new slide, clean. As you can see, there's nothing on it. This is what you should be starting from. Nothing on it. I know you're thinking, wow, we're going straight to professional mode. No, not really. You're going to easy mode. Okay? Because in reality, you just need to learn a few things, and then with time, you will learn how to update and to upgrade. So always choose slides that are, when you go to insert, new slide, choose blank. Never these. Don't, just stay away from them. Okay? Just go blank. Now, if you have a blank slide already and you wish to duplicate, just right click, duplicate slide. And as you can see, there's nothing there. If you want to duplicate much more faster, select two slides by pressing Shift, hold the Shift button and then select. And when you duplicate, bingo, you duplicated two. Want to duplicate more? Shift button, hold, select all slides, and duplicate. And now all of a sudden, I have 8 slides. So it will save you a lot of hassle. Okay? It will save you a lot of hassle. Now, I'm just going to show you some really important basics today. So on File, Save as you can see, this is presentation number 1, it's called, all right? So we need to give it a name. Let's just click Save As. Wait for it to wake up. Okay, choose where you wish to save it. So you can either go to OneDrive straight away or this PC and decide where you want to save it. I'm going to go to here. So what I did was double click, left button, and it opens up your computer. Now I'm just some advice. When you have two storage places on your computer, OS letter C is your operating system. Always save your information on a different disk, so that way the memory is clear. You don't slow down your computer. So what I'm going to do is click on D, and here is my culture folder, and I'm going to save it here, as in PPT lesson. Okay, and just save. And now it's saved. Now, if you save on your hard disk, so this is saved to my PC, so I need to, any updates and changes will be automatic there. But if I want to save it to OneDrive and I click on, it's going to ask me to save in the OneDrive file. I don't want that for now, okay? Because I don't want any complication. I just want to keep it simple. Now, when we look at the top, you have home, insert, draw, design, transitions, animations. The order, record, review, view, help, Acrobat. The order highlights how often you're going to use it. So you probably end up using home and insert 90% of the time. So it's very important that you learn where things are, and you'll learn that by trial and error. Okay, there are different ways to get to the same tool, but for now, let's just begin with basics. Okay, now when you come to looking for images, photos, there are many videos, there are many websites that you can actually get pictures for free. Okay, you can get pictures for free. Photos, icons, vectors. Pixabay gives you photos, vectors, and also videos. So you can download and insert these if you want. This one, Unsplash, is, let's see, because they make changes. Mostly photography, street photography, all right. People, let's see if we type Malta, something comes up. There you go. Malta, St. Julian's, Popeye Village, of course. That's a very nice, these are very nice photos. Okay. And you can download them for free. So you start to realize how you can actually start to use, why is it? Unsplash before used to be for free. Now, not so much. But you can always copy it. But as you can see in the image, you have the logos, very faint. Let's see this one. This one you can download for free, for example, okay? So some photos are priced, some are not. Basically, what's happening is many professional photographers upload the photos and then they sell them online through these websites. But as you can see, there are some really cool pictures which you can use as opposed to just using Google search. Pexels, they have videos and photos. Okay. Free pick is the one I tend to use a lot. And again, free pick also has AI included. And for example, images, vectors, illustrations, icons. It's a bit more. And again, you can find a lot of things for free. Okay. This I'll be sharing with you in a moment. So when we look at, so that's where you can get inspirational source. And I'm mentioning that because we're going to be relating to that in a moment. So let's say I want to create a PowerPoint presentation about Malta, okay? Or my journey in Malta, whatever the topic is. What you put in it, what you pictures you choose, what text you use, it's up to you. Now, the first thing is this. As you can see, there are 4 quadrants on the slide. 1, 2, 3, 4. Having an understanding about the quadrants is very important. And if you will look at the middle of the quadrant here, this point here, so we're saying somewhere there. It's not that, more maybe there, okay? And if I take this point here, that meets 1/3 of the way. And again, on this side, down here and down here, let me just choose another. So that spot there, where the two meet, I'll be showing you everything as we go along. Right now, I just want you to understand something. This point, this square here, that is what we call a PowerPoint. So a slide has 4 PowerPoints. One there, one here, and here. Now you understand why Microsoft called this software PowerPoint. Understanding that is really, really important. So when you're looking at the slide, you have different options. You can go full slide with your image and put text on top, or you can go 50-50, an image on the right, on this side, text on the left, or vice versa. You can also go 1/3, or you can go 25%, okay? So you start to realize basic elements. So the idea of design and text, there are many clips on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, YouTube, other websites as well, where you can actually learn about these little things. Now, if I bring up this point here, when we're talking about photography, videography, or graphic design, there are many, many aspects that we need to understand these rules here. So for example, rules of thirds, leading lines, balance, contrast, white space, framing. White space I mentioned when we were talking about the CB, framing, golden ratio, hierarchy, unit. These are all aspects of graphic design, okay? Typography, color theory, movement. So let me just share this in the chat for you. There you go. So you can start to realize and find, and if we click on rule of thirds, that one, there are other links here. Which one are we going to choose? Let's just choose that one. Let's see, rule of thirds. But I want an image. Okay, there's no image there. Let's do this. Let me go here. Rule of thirds. Images. And this is what we mean by rule of thirds. So the aspects that I was telling you before, these points, okay, you start to see how we place subject matter within a photo, okay, within a photo. Now, rules are there and they're meant to be broken. It doesn't mean you have to follow the rule. However, when I was taking photos of events, I will take a big photo and then I will go to my office and start cropping and bring down the image to activate these ideas. And it creates a very, it creates emotion. It plays a lot. You start to realize these things, okay? So this is what we mean by rule of thirds. You can either put the subject smack in the middle or on the side. You can zoom in, zoom out. It really is up to you. And again, just learning the basics will boost your confidence when it comes to creating design, because you take the photo, you always allow extra space so you can crop, so you can choose what you want. And then from there, you downsize the image, you crop the image. Okay, so you have that, you have this idea, 2 eyes, for example, portraits, landscapes. Okay, so that's what we're looking at as in rule of thirds, and then obviously going into more details. So let's say I wish to do a PowerPoint presentation on Malta. Where was I before? There. Illustrations. So where did I do? Which one did I? Here we go, Malta. So let's say we have these pictures. Now, when choosing your pictures, you want to find something which can be a contrast. So let me create different title slides so you start to realize how we can play around. So let's say, for example, we take this photo here. Okay, I'm just going to download it quickly. Put it there. Save it. Now, when you click download, it comes down in size. When you click on the right side, you can actually decide which size you want. Don't go for small. Always go for medium or large. And as you can see, original is the biggest size. If you want to print this or show this on a big screen, always go for the original size. Okay? But also that means the size of the file, the memory of the file is much bigger. So then that makes your PowerPoint memory heavy. So let me just choose large. And let me just download that here. Now, a quick way to find it, downloads, it's here. As you can see, the original is like 3.2 megabytes. Large is 629 megabytes, and it's enough. If I click on the folder, show in folder, folder comes up, here it is. Let me minimize, and let me just put that one there. Okay, let's go to a second slide. Let's choose another picture. Go back. I really love this one because it has lots of darkness and shade in it. So I'm going to open that one. I'm going to come here, select medium, download, save, and then select, because I'm lazy, I want to work smart, not hard, which is very important so that you save your energy and save your time, because time is money. Moving on, let me choose a third picture that I saw that I like from here, which is landscape. So as you can see in this picture here, the top blue is negative space. Here, not so much. This one has a dark tan to it, which is saving you a lot of time as well. The flag, blue sea. The one I'm looking for is this one. Okay, it's this. Now, let me just open it up and let me see if I can find something similar, but landscape. That's not Malta, for sure. This might be Gozo, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. Okay, what I'll do is I'm going to open new image, new tab. So that way I'm saved it. That's not correct. Sorry. I want to see if I can find this image in landscape. So let me download it first because I like it. Save. You see it's added to the list of downloads. Click on the folder. It finds it for me. Click on PowerPoint. Click here. New slide. And bring it over. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay, now to try and find something similar, let's go here. Search for photos. Hang Nui. Just clicking on her. Let's see what else she has. That's it, not just those two photos. All right, so in other words, it doesn't exist in landscape. Okay, these three photos will do fine. Let me close the files. And let me make this big for myself. Now, as you can see, we have 3 slides. Okay, Simple trick, you can leave the photo in the middle if you want, but then where you're going to put the text, you can move the photo to the side if you wish. If I click on this one and I move it to the left, and you start to look at 1 and 2, you start to see how placing an image to the left or to the right can affect the space and the text. Now, obviously, when I'm looking at this photo, I have a lot of space here. So it depends on what I want to do with the text, what I want to do with the slide. If we go to the first slide, as you can see, the image, I have white space on the sides. So if I move this to the side, it's too narrow. Okay? If I move this here, it's too narrow. As an opening slide, I want to create an impact. And what I know is I have a lot of blue space up here. Ideal for putting on text, and also ideal because I can stretch this image. Now, how do we stretch? How do we increase? Down on the bottom here, you have your magnification, so you can reduce. On the left here is what is the complete artboard. Okay? It's the complete artboard, what's going to be seen. So if I put something outside, it's not going to be seen. There are reasons why we do that. There are reasons why there's space around the artboard. Not for today, not for beginner's lesson. But if I click on this image, you can see everything, okay? This allows me to turn the directions, which I don't want to do for now. I just want to keep it simple. But what I can do is click on this, go to top left corner, click, and by moving my mouse, I bring it to the edge. Now, as you can see, top left, this image is covering the full artboard. Now, we need to realize that we create layers. We create layers. It's like saying when you make a sandwich, you have your first slice of bread, and then you have the butter, the cheese, and then you have maybe tomato, lettuce, cucumber, then you have the remainder, the top layer, okay? So you have different layers. Stop to click. Now, if I go to Insert, and I come over here, text box, click. If I draw a text box, this means I can put letters into this text. So if the cursor is not seen, just go to the text box and double click. Now, over here, we have the fonts. You can choose any font you wish. As you can see, the text of the font is giving you an example. Now, theory of fonts, you can look it up, okay? It's listed in the link I gave you under typography, but it's up to you how deep you want to go, how you want to experiment. And you can look at font pairing, you can look at sizing, colors, color theory of color, etc., etc. I'm going to keep mine simple. I'm going to use Montserrat, okay? And I'm going to make this. So where you see the letter A, this determines the color of your font. I'm going to put it in white. I'm going to increase the font size. There you go. And besides Montserrat, if I go down, go to letter M, I'll find the various fonts. Now you might need to download some fonts. It depends what you have. I just say, listen, see what you have, keep it simple. Okay. Now I'm going to go extra bold and I'm going to type, oops, Malta. Now, as you can see, the word Malta is not on one line. Why? Because I need to create the space I need to control the space of the box. So if I grab and push this to the side, now letter Malta fits in. Now, there are two ways to center the words. First of all, when I click on the word, I need to look at the alignment. That is over here. So as you can see, let me just exaggerate the box for you. Right now, the word Malta is aligned to the left of the box. If I click the right one, it goes to the right. This has its place and purposes depending on which slide design you are thinking of. Okay? Now, when you look at the image here, you can see Malta is touching the top of the slide. Okay? Why? Because the image, the background image, is bigger than the slide size. That's where cropping comes in. Okay? I will show you that in a moment after this. Now, let's look at the word Malta. What I want is for the word Malta to be centered. So now the word Malta is in the middle of the box. I can make the box smaller if I want. You know, if you like cleanliness and design like me, I advise you do it. It's just a little thing. It just saves lots of headaches later. Now, there are two ways to get the word Malta in the middle. Either you grab the box, hold with your left button on your mouse and move it to the center. You'll feel it lock in. There you go. The line comes clear there. Or just go arrange, align. And as you can see here, it says align to slide. Align center. Bingo. Now, where it's at the top of the slide, two things we need to do, or we can do. Either you move it down by mouse, but don't lose the center. If you do, just reset. Or, so arrange, align, center. Or use your keyboard and just press the down arrow and keeping an eye on the left to see where is good placement. Okay, now let me go back to the image and introduce the concept of crop. When we come to crop means cutting, making it, trimming your image. So when you click on the image, press right button, crop comes up. Click on crop with your left button. For this case, grab the middle top, left button hold, slide down until you find the edge of the slide. The edge of the slide is there. And you realize, because you'll see the grid line turns red. Bingo. Now, when I step out and press left, all of a sudden, I really know where the edge is. Okay? So if I grab this and move the word up, Malta to the top, right there, you will see that it's touching the edge, as we can see over here, which I don't want. Now, your favorite command is going to be Control Z, which means undo last mistake. Okay? That's going to be your best friend. Control Z. Control Z. All right? That's going to be your best friend. Now, when I look at the image on the left, I can see there's a sense of space between the word Malta, the border, space to the left, space to the right, and the church is not touching the word. Okay? If I want the church to be in the middle, I can do that. I increase the image size and then I move it to the left. So if I want the church to be right in the middle, I need to make the image bigger and then I move it to the center like that. And then I can move it down. Okay? But then I need to understand what is priority. Do I want some more blue sea? So then I move the word Malta up, click on the image. Okay, everything I'm showing you right now, these little tricks, will come by learning by doing. To be honest, having it right in the middle, I don't feel comfortable with it. So Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. There you go. I prefer it that way. That's where then personal taste, personal feelings come into play. Okay, I like it like this. And as you can see, it's quite clean. It's quite neat. It's not difficult. It's just patience. Practice patience. Now, let's keep it simple. So that's smarter for you. Okay, let's go to the second slide. Now, in this slide, the slide is in the middle. Okay, sorry, on the side. The slide is on the left. And the difference between this image and the image that we have here, this image is landscape or horizontal, and this image is vertical or portrait. Now, my idea is to put text over here. The ideal, if I'm going to focus on the words, because the image says its own story, black text on white is what you find to be the most efficient. You don't want everything to be busy all the time. But how much space do I need? How much space do I want? If I click on the image and I grab the right corner, I can increase its size to half page. Obviously, when you look here, you see the church cupola has been cropped out of the image. So what I can do now is two things. Either I move it with my mouse or click on the image, go to Arrange, Align, and I click Middle to Slide. There you go. And as you can see, there's a difference here. The problem is that the car is really, really close to the bottom, and I'm losing out on the street. So now you have the dilemma of what am I going to do? Okay, what can I do with this image? Now, whenever you look at an image, you really need to understand what is its story, what is it telling you, what is the balance. The reason why I like this image is because we have a road taking you down to the church. It's rather inviting. So as you can see right now, that's not happening. That's not working. So the idea of making this image bigger doesn't really work well. But we do have negative space on top, which we can sacrifice, meaning we can lift the image up a bit more. There you go. That to me would be the ideal size. Okay? Again, it's personal choice. It's like, what do you put on when you go out? What clothes do you wear? What perfume do you put on? You know, it's up to you. Personal taste, and this is where you need to develop your confidence. But let's just leave it at that. Maybe we can push it a bit more up and maybe just a little bit more, maybe there. Let me bring it down a bit. There you go. I think that's the best. Okay. Now you have two choices. You can leave it as it is. It's no problem. Or if you like to have a clean workspace, like me, crop, and that way, you know, it already gives you the finished feeling touch. And as you can see, it looks like we're creating a magazine here. And yes, there is a feature in PowerPoint where you save. To do that, you go to File. Where the hell was it? Info. No. Export. No. Where the hell was it? Info. No. Can't find. Sorry. Yes, it comes from this file here. There is a feature where when you export, you save everything. Print. Into properties. No. Export. All right, sorry, I can't find it at the moment. There's a button that you press and it keeps the full resolution. Okay, so you have that. And here we can have extra text if we want. Coming to the third image, again, this is a small one. So what's important? Do we want the blue sea or do we want the blue sky? Honestly, I would like to have the blue sea. Okay, so there you go. So on this note here, because this image arrived in the middle and this image didn't, it does feel a bit off, but we can arrange that just by doing that, for example, okay? And then filling in this blank. So how to insert shapes. Home or insert will get you there, okay? But I'm going to take home. So go home. And here you have this box. It's all about shapes. And as you can see, you have many shapes you can use. I'm going to take rectangle. I'm just going to do that. Okay. Now, as you can see, the colors of the box are over here. Shape fill, shape outline. So if I click on, wait a minute, wrong, go home, click, there we go. So go to home. As you can see, quick styles, shape fill, shape outline. All right. Now, obviously, being a perfectionist, you want to get that to the right size. Just click on the dots and move accordingly. Now, I don't want this to cover the image. I want this behind the image. So now we have two elements. We have, here we had the text and the image. Here we have the photo and the box. But I want the box to go to the back. So I go click on the box, home, and go to arrange, click on arrange, center back. Bingo. Now the color is a contrast to this image. So what I can do here, shape outline, no outline, shape fill, eyedropper, choose a color. Okay? These are little things you can learn by doing. And then I can put text here. Coming to this image, it's half page. I just want to crop it, bring it down, and I can have the text over here. Okay? Now, to insert text, like I showed you here, let's do it over here. So insert text. Insert text box. Let's create a big slide. Now, what I want to do is create content. Content creation we'll be looking into next week. And this is where the use of AI comes in, etc. So if I go here, I'm on my AI. Let's think of texts, what we can use. So let me try and create something. So let me bring this over to the main screen. You should see this now. So I'm going to use AI for the sake of create brief description of 50 words on Malta for the following topics: charming rural villages, clear turquoise sea, Malta turquoise sea, Malta village festa, okay, Maltese food. Bingo, click, fire off. Okay, so I already have the quick text done. So I can literally just highlight, and copy, come here. Now, the text box obviously has disappeared because I need to do it again. So home, go insert, text box, click, right click, paste. Now that's coming from there, and then you learn how to basically rearrange. Now, when it comes to text and you copy paste, you're going to have in your standard font chosen by PowerPoint. There is a way how to create a master plan, master slide, blah, blah, blah. Not today. Now I'm using Montserrat. So I go click left, and you can see the fonts that I'm using. So I do that. Now, I've changed the font of the text. Next, I want to create spacing between the sentences. So I go here, so home, here's your editing section. So click here, I can go 1.5 or 2. As you can see, the line spacing increases every time. Now 2.5 and 2, 2 is usually used in academic writing. But for my sake, I always use 1.5 because 1 feels suffocating. So 1.5, click. Now, I want to change the font of the title because I want the title to stand out. Go back here. So first highlight. Yeah, to highlight, left click. Go here. I can either do extra bold, it works, or if I want to, semi-bold font, okay? And there you go. I can also change its color from black to, for example, I don't know, we're looking at green, or maybe this color, all right? And if I want to, I can also increase its size. If the box is too small, I can make it bigger by moving it, okay? Now, as you can see, the words are not aligned. All the words in the sentences are aligned to the left side of the box. So if you experiment, you start to see different layouts, how it works. Okay. This is justified to the left. This is justified on both sides. I really don't like both sides justification because you end up with too much space between the words. Some people like it, some people don't like it. I prefer to have always left justified. And then what I do is I grab the box. Either you make it bigger or you play with it a bit, just bring it down until you find it feels comfortable. Okay? There are different ideas on this, different theories. Choose one style and stick throughout. And then I place that in the middle. And as you can see, all right. Now this box, maybe I don't like this green, shape fill. I can either choose black or gray, colors from the palette fonts. And regarding palette fonts, that's a different story altogether. Or I can go eyedropper and choose something a bit darker and see how that works. Trial and error, that's all it is. Experimentation, playing. Okay? You play with it, see what works. So if I go Control Z, you can see the differences. Opposite of Control Z, Control Y, and we're back to here again. Again, I think that's too light. Definitely not yellow and not red or burgundy or blue. So if you want to find more colors for yourself, more fill colors here. There you go. And then you can change, you can darken it. Maybe that's the way to go. Okay. Again, experimentation makes it all happen. So that's one example. I'm going to show you again here. This time we have the image on the right. So insert, text box, create the text box. go back to where I had where is it? Here. Okay. This time I'm taking turquoise, that one, copy text, PowerPoint. It's still here. Right click, paste options. So then you'll start to experiment with paste options in your own time. Bingo. Now, need to repeat the process, create the space, remove the double spacing, the double dots. First, let's switch it all to Montserrat regular. Let's create the 1.5 spacing. Why is snorkeling in American English, British English, conflict? Let's do that. Now, over here, this font size is Montserrat semi-bold 24. So when I click here, this is Montserrat regular 18. So I need to select text, make it 24, come here and make that semi-bold. And I can also choose the color of the font to try and match something more similar to the image. If I want to, you can leave it black. Okay, and there you go. Obviously, here it's talking about pristine Mediterranean beaches. It doesn't really match the image. Okay, this is the inland island in Gozo, Duera. So if we need to change the image, go back to where you were before and just type Malta beaches. There you go. This is in Gozo, Ramla Al Hamla. This is Popeye Village. This one, not sure of. Balconies, Malta. Yeah, we can use this one if you want. Golden Bay. So let's change the image. This is Duera, Ramla Al Hamra in Gozo, Calypso's Cave. This is Meliha Bay. Which one do we want? Do we go with this or do we go with this? I'm going to go with this one because this is landscape and I need it to fit into a portrait size. So large, downloaded, save, come back up here, show in folder, it's showing me where it is, minimize, I need that, where'd it go? Click on file if it goes behind. You can always minimize your PowerPoint so that, you can work around if you want, make it easier to navigate around the screen. So bring this image in. Now, let me remove that one. Now, when I put this image in, as you can see, it's going to come over our text and it's imbalancing with the previous two. You can see that it's out of harmony with the others. Now, no problem. What do I need? What I need is that part. As you can see here, easy peasily fixed. Okay. Now, if I want to make the image a bit more to the left, which I can do, it's no harm done. But and it works, it works in a way. But then this also gives me the opportunity to come back here, remove this, move this to the side. Okay. Move this more to the center, like that. And that also works as well. Maybe I just want to, now if I want to crop, as you can see, the image goes all the way to about here. This is the edge. As you can see, the blue line here is seen, but there's more space. If I want to, I can pull it back more to the right. As you can see, maybe bring it in line there or there if you want, So what happens is when I click here and I go here, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So those are the basics. Now, obviously, if you're doing your journey, some images you might find about places you're coming from, so they are in general, stock. But you might also have your own photos. To do that, to insert an image from your own file, just click Insert, Pictures, this device, find your folder on your computer, how you see these images, you can change as well. This guy you remember these images from before. Let me just play with one. Just click that, click, insert, and that's how you get your images from your computer drive onto the screen, okay? If you want to clean it up, crop, find the edge, turns red. There it is. That's it. Okay, so that's all I'm expecting for task 1 and task 2. Nothing complicated, no transitions, no animations, etc. Now, if you want to be adventurous, click on this slide, duplicate. Now, this is the slide how I want it to end. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to send, let me make this smaller. I'm going to move it up. This image, I'm going to make bigger. Move that in the middle, like so. Okay, let me make it even more bigger. I want the steeples of the churches to actually almost touch the edge. There you go. Now, if I select, now as you can see, these two slides have the same, what we call elements, the picture and the text, okay? Picture and the text. The only difference is that right now the text is out off screen and the image is much, much bigger compared to slide number 2. So once I've done that, if I press slide 1, slide 2, and I go to transition, and I click morph, and now I go presentation mode. This is why you want your slide to be full size, because then when you make it really big, you don't have pixelation. So let's say this is the opening slide, it's on screen, and I say, good afternoon, everyone. I'm here today to introduce you to a very charming country, which is called Malta. And you get that effect. Now, as you can see, as I press through, they cut through. That's because this is what we call transitioning. So transitioning is about going from one slide to another. And there are different ways how to transition. Now, to be honest with you, keep it simple. All right? Keep it simple. Winds, curtain, drapes, they're nice. These are all ideas coming from when PowerPoint began in the 1990s, 1980s. Okay? There are some really cool ones that you can use. I always go for morph, fade, or push. The first 4. Okay? Because they keep a professional element to it. There are other ideas that you can use, like rotate, which is the other one? Peel off. There's another one used to create a magazine effect. They're really, really cool. You can find many videos on these. So let me show you. If I click on number 3 and I click fade, now I need to look on the top right. Duration. Let's make this 1.5 on mouse click. Okay. And this one, I'm going to make push. So duration 1.5 and on mouse click. So if I go back to slide number 1 and I click present, start from beginning, I end up with this effect. Okay. And that's the cut. And as you can see, just by learning the basics, of course, you need a computer, a mouse. Working on a tablet is also possible, but try to use a stylo pen. Working on your mobile phone, I wouldn't even dream of it. But as you can see, you get these, before you know it, you've created something very, very simple. So let's go to slide 5. Let me bring this up again. What was Malta Village Festa? So this time, let me start with the text. Copy the text, place here, put in, do that, remove the dots, extra spacing, line spacing, keep it to the left for now. Make this Montserrat regular and make the title semi-bold. Okay, and we'll see about the color. Now let's try and find an image for Maltese Festa. Go here. Let me this time go to a different site. Let me go free pick, Malta Festa. Let's see what comes up. These are illustrations. No, I want, so orientation, definitely horizontal. And I want photos. Okay. Why do we have England? I don't know. Malta Festa. Let's see what comes up. Nothing comes up. This is how stupid AI can be sometimes. Malta Village Festa. Let's try. That's Good Friday. I don't want Good Friday. So these are the struggles you start to see. Okay, that's not working. No problem. Let's just remove the word Village Festa. Let's just go Malta. Let's see what comes up. Again, England, Madonna. No, nothing comes up. That's okay. Let's go to free photos, the first one. So Malta, Village, Feast, maybe, because I wrote in Maltese, not English. You can start, accept all cookies. The amount of cookies I accept, mamma mia, is not good for my diet. All right, as you can see here, orientation, horizontal, panoramic horizontal as well. Apply. All right. So we're starting to see pictures. Nothing really I find striking. I think if I, oh, this one is nice. There you go. There's one there. This is the Good Friday procession. What about this one? Okay. Must I again? And this one has more fireworks. Or click on similar images. And you don't. Okay, click there. All right, so let's see what we have. All right, now, this is coming from iStock. So this is no longer free. You have to pay for it. And that we don't have to do. Mala, this one, no. See the time, no. No need. Okay, that's not working. No problem. This is what we do. Pexel, Mala. Search for videos. We can. But let's just keep it simple. Photos. So Malta Village Feast. Let's see what comes up. Aha. Or not. You see here, these are you have to pay for. So if I click on it, iStock, and you have to pay. Aha. So let's go down. Papay Village comes up. Marelli. Okay, limited resources. Let's go here. Malta Village Feast. We have food. Okay. This we can use for the next slide, for example. That's not Malta. All right, we're getting nowhere. Let me see if I use Maltese. Festa. Okay, no worries. Hiroki. Let's try here. Malta Village Feast. Same images like before. So the guy is trying to mark it off too. Okay, we found images for food. All right, so that's not working. So now, of course, we go to our friend Google. Now, the problem with Google Images is that there might be copyright aspects or the pixelation is very, very poor. So when you go, for example, visit Malta, they tell you can use these images for 100 multi-celebration. Okay, but let's go to images here. Oh, my Malta. You can see these photos. That's a nice one. Let's see if we can take that one. Now, obviously, when you look at these images, look at this one here, 75453. So if I click on it, open in the new tab, and I take this image, the resolution can be very, 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 very low. So that's not really a good one. This is more of a promo festa. Okay, here we go. That's a really nice picture coming from Visit Malta. There it is. So I can copy the image. Onto presentation, click. It's not bad. Now, as you can see, the image is really, really small. Now, I can either continue with what we were doing before, but to be honest, I would really love to be bold. So let's make it big. As you can see here, let's move it down a bit. Okay, now click on the image, arrange, send to back, because the text is here. Now, from here, I can, oops, Control Z, our friend. I can move this to here if I want to. Let's make it white. Let's see what happens. There you go. Now I need to find the space which works best for the reader. And let me put it there. See, I'm putting it in the top right of the image. Now, obviously, if you click on the bottom one, if I do this, you can see that, you see what I mean by the image at the back? It's blurred and pixelation. That's what I mean by resolution. What I'm going to do is multi-village feast, high resolution. Okay, click that. And now this one looks charming. This is a really cool one. So let's open this up, open link in new tab. No, this image is blurred. Although it has 1000 pixels, it's really blurred. No, bit better, but not so great. If you have your own personal photos, it will be much more easier, but I'm trying to cheat here. Okay, here we go. As you can see, bottom right. Okay, let me just copy this image. I like it. Go back to PowerPoint, choose back picture, remove the image, insert image. Now, depending on the display of the image, so for example, this is a balcony here, okay? I definitely want the people. I don't want to go put it there, anchor the image there, and then pull down on this one because automatically I'm losing the people. That doesn't make sense. Or if I do that, I move it up. Okay, and I can also pull it a bit more to lose the balcony. There, balcony is gone. Move it to the left. If you're having problems, you can align to slide left. So let's say over there. Align left, and it moves it for you. And then you can do align bottom. Right? And now you have the image. These two lines are on the artboard slide. And as you can see, the top of the church here is really, really close. And I have a lot of empty space here. So this image is rather very challenging. Let's crop it down to the artboard size, bring it down. There's the red, grab the left. Where's the artboard? It's there. Now what I can do is move it down into place. Something like that. Okay, so once I've cropped the image, the frame, and then I can move the image to see what I want to see. And I really like the idea of having the church in the middle and the people, because this empty space, this negative space, I can use for the text. The text is behind this layer. So click, select image, arrange, center back. There it is. Now, it's still very, very busy and difficult to read. No problem. Click on the text box. Right now, you have the cursor flashing, so it's just about the cursor. No, click on the box again to get this cross effect. The cursor is no longer flickering, and go to Shape Fill and click black. Now, obviously, 100% black eliminates the background. So while this text box is still lit up, selected, go up here, Shape Effects, and you have Fill. The color of the box is this one here. So if I change it, you can see it change. Now I want a color, a dark color, that matches this blue sky in a way. So you can either just choose one from here, as you can see it's changing, or grab your eyedropper and select the color there. Now I go to transparency, click on the up, increase transparency, and all of a sudden you start to see this is reducing it's becoming more transparent to the point you start to see the background. Now, I like to have increments of 5, so either 25 or that. Let's go 25. Okay, now the box, I can put the box where it is in the middle like that, and I can maybe reduce it a bit till the words sort of, no, let's go back there. They're almost aligned. Okay. Now, what is the transition? Let me have push again, but this time push is not going to be from below. push is going to be from right. So if I go here, sorry, I go to the first slide. Press. That's for your first transition. This is your second transition going through a fade. Now I need to change the speed on that one. That one's a bit too fast. So click here, push transition. We need to change it over here. Let's make it 150 and on mouse click. So let's do this again. When you click this icon from the beginning or you press F5, you immediately start from the beginning. Okay, so one. So we start Malta, charming rural village, turquoise sea. This was supposed to come from the right. No problem. Let's do it that way. Okay. And one more time. Click. First slide, first transition. Second transition through a fade. Push from bottom. Push from left. Okay. And if I press, you go back to 0. And you start to slowly build up your slides. Now, let me go to, so you have learning on your own. First of all, you can type in AI, teach me basic PowerPoint presentation. What are the steps I need to master? Obviously, the route is very, very different from one person to another. Second, let me just minimize this. You do need to understand, these I can close. Close. Okay, so second, you do need to understand these. These go true for photography, videography, graphic design, okay? And if you realize, just great front cover magazine, just do that, bingo, okay? You have all these images. And you start to realize what they're doing here is choosing a good picture and then laying out the text accordingly. So the image in this one here is at the back, and then you have title on top. It's the same font, but we have yellow, white, and yellow. Okay, very, very straightforward. And you'll realize the PowerPoint is here. If you go for Vogue, okay, the difference is that they are using Photoshop and the letters are being placed front and back. Accordingly, the bottom of L is with her eyes. You start to realize what they're doing. They're just putting things on in layers. That's all. And you start to realize, like this one, Forbes, this is a bit busy. You know, there's a lot, but it's trying to create your attention. So great front cover, great simple design front cover magazines. Let's try this. And you start to see it. Some of them are like really busy. Some of them are edgy. The word fabric is behind the head. Glow. All right. It's just patience, just one step at a time. Esquire. George Clooney. Tom Hanks. Okay. Harrison. See what I mean? You start to see elegance. This one with Bruce Willis, you start to see how emotions are created, how chaos is created. Bond, James Bond. Okay, Bond is back. By looking at other people's work, you start to learn from all of this. And you can learn to master your own game. Now, so there's that. Now, if we come over here, when you go to looking at on YouTube or TikTok, all the videos are short, but with YouTube, you get various lengths. First things first, always look for video clips which are recent. So they always have the latest update. And try to find influencers who are teaching, who do teach, not they love their sound of their own voice. And an introduction takes 15 minutes and it just goes around in circles and everything is fast. Find the ones that work for you. So when you look on top, first your keywords in the search bar. Then you have the lengths under 4 minutes, 4 to 20 minutes. You can click on filter, the level, HD, over 20 minutes. It's up to you. What you click, upload date. Let's put this here, for example. It changes straight away. 6 hours tutorial. And what you realize is that they're all going to be building up on what I'm showing you. And there are so many features within that it's amazing. Now, once you start to get the idea of the basics, then you start to learn things like this. Okay, so what you realize from that is if I take my slides and I use animation, I'm not showing you animation today because honestly, it's not needed for task one. I showed you the basics that will boost your confidence. If you don't use transitions, if it's no problem. If you're not using animation, no problem, The basics are essential just to start. But what you realize is everything is just higher level. So as you can see, this one is quite not complicated, just you need to know where the things are, and it does take a lot of time. Okay, so as you can see, that's using more transition. Here you have this one here, for example, to create rotations. Once you get into it, you'll really start to enjoy it. It really becomes fun because you realize it's not about how technical you are with PowerPoint. It's more about understanding how to create your content in text and in images. And once that happens, then through practice, you'll become an expert. If I choose this one, Well, we get okay. So when you start to understand the basics and you start to realize that with morph or fade or push, you can make changes by understanding how elements need to be together, etc. Um, you start to realize that you're going places. So how can I make this slide a bit more filling? Well, I can take the box I didn't use and put it on the other side. Okay, maybe it's too wide. Let's make it a bit narrower. Ah, that looks good. Bingo. But let's do the same thing. Copy, Control C, go here, Control C, move it to the left side, and change its color to the font that I used color. So I go here. There you go. So little changes. Okay.